your relationship as a receiver, as your relationship to the run game or what you've seen, but how? I mean, do you feel like the typical coach answer is like the horizontal passing game is an extension of the run game? It can be used as a tool to do the same things. Do you see that, or what does that look like on film? I guess.
1000%. I feel like and then with our offense, it allows us to add on to our normal run game. So I do feel like the horizontal pass game, does add on to the run game. Yes.
Do you guys think you're pretty good at that? Like that whole horizontal, like the short pass, the
For
spread.
sure. I mean, I feel like our offense is as strong as we want it to be. It's just a matter of continuing to work on it day in and day out. Whether that's the horizontal pass game, run fits, the deep shots, whatever it is. So I feel like it's a strength. It's just something we're gonna continue to work on, and you can never be too good at anything.
Right. Also, when you're facing a good defense, having a guy like Ty who is good is helpful. But what specifically in Ty's game when you are facing a strong defense is really valuable to have?
Definitely his confidence in his guys. Just like I've said before, being on the field with a guy that's confident in you, whether it's first down and 10, 4th and 1, and he just believes in his guys and believes in his guys are better than the other team's guys, and I mean that's all you can ask for as a receiver.
How much do you think he relishes matchups against good defenses?
Uh, I definitely feel like that's a strong part of his mindset, my mindset, well our mindset. Yeah.
Did you have a conversation with Leo Jones on Saturday?
Yeah, a little something, just talking a couple basic things, just to help out in routes and when the ball's in the air, nothing too serious.
Have you spoken to him before?
Yeah, 1,000%. Last year, a couple times before then, but yeah.
Is he someone that you kind of like have grown up watching?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, my whole life. Yeah.
Different builds, but what do you take from his game? What are some of the things you like about his game, and maybe even incorporate in your?
Definitely his physicality and his mentality on each individual play. He plays like it's his last play every play, and you could just definitely tell like he loves football, and just continue to have the attitude of gratitude day in and day out, and you just see it on the your film is you can't wipe that away. So you could just when you turn on his tape, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
What's the best pointer that he's given you?
Just being physical at the catch point, and don't let people touch you.
Is that one of the cool parts of being in Alabama that there could be a guy like Julio Jones?
Just walking around, yeah, at all, 1,000%. Just bump into you, give you a couple tips before you run out on the field. Then it just so happens you make a catch, and it's like he just told me that. So yeah, 1,000%.
How's it good to make some tough catches this year? I guess what kind of toll did it take on your body, or how's it made you stronger?
It's a part of the game, and as a receiver, any ball that comes my way, I want to catch it. And because, like I said, when I have a guy that believes so highly in me, why wouldn't I try to catch every single pass he throws toward me? So it's just a blessing to have those opportunities, regardless if someone considers it easy, hard. I mean, it's just an opportunity. So, yeah.
When you came into the program, there was some Julio comparisons, not maybe so much player for player, but just the what you meant to the program. Were you aware of those, and what did those mean to you at the time?
1,000%. I heard it a couple times, but I mean, it's a blessing to be put in that conversation just because, honestly, it just means a lot. Just because that means all the work that I put in up until this point has, paid off to a degree. But I still got to put the work in to, have the outcome or a better outcome that he had.
What have you seen from Oklahoma's secondary?
They play as a whole. They're always on a string. They're all together. They do a great job disguising coverages. Everything always looks the same. The defense as a whole, in general, I mean, every single play it pretty much looks the same until post snap. So elite defense, very good defense, one of the best in the country, and we got to just execute at a high level this week.
What do you guys need to do to get the deep passing game going?
I would just say, just continuing to hone in on it on days like today on a Tuesday, because if we don't hit it on Tuesday, we're definitely not going to hit it on Saturday. So, just continuing to get a bunch of repetition at the reps, and it'll pay off on Saturday.
Is that a part of your game that you maybe pride one of the most is being a deep ball threat?
1,000%. It's just fun, just striking down the field and making a play for your boys. So, it's definitely something that I take pride in just because I've done it my whole life. But any way that I can affect the game, I would love to.
What do you remember about the overturned touchdown last
Uh, I mean, it's just like I said, it's a part of football. You know, all the calls aren't going to go your way, and you know it is what it is. And hopefully, you know, none have an issue.
Sorry if you've been asked about it, but just how you feeling health-wise?
I feel great. You know, just with the training staff that we have. You know, any nicks and bruises that I have, we fight day in and day out, and you know, it's great. I feel great.
When talking about the deep passing game, let's hear if this guy made a big play. How do you see him just come
He's a guy that, you know, athletically is gifted beyond measures. It's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday, bro. You know, and he's extremely gifted. And, you know, just seeing him grow, you know, not just as a player, but off the field, it's just been amazing to see. But definitely on the field, you know, he understands why he's doing things and, you know, why he's getting a certain look. And I feel like he's going to be a really good player for us.
You played a lot as a true freshman. Do you give him any advice just to going out year one and making an impact?
1,000%. I mean, at the end of the day, you started playing football to have fun. So, you know, just continue to simplify the game for him. Let him know that this is a fun game. You know, it has a lot of stressors on it. Like people, you know, put a lot of pressure on it. But whenever you have fun, play loose. I mean, you see what happens. So.
Ryan, it seems like Coach DeBoer is kind of a forward-looking guy. When he called for you guys to remember what happened in Norman, was that not his was that expected from him, or is it kind of like, is that unusual, or is that what he called you guys to do against Tennessee and Vanderbilt too?
I would just say, you know, we remember the feeling, but it's honestly you don't really think about it anymore. It's kind of like last year we remember the feeling of the pain, you know, but we kind of just wiped it. We definitely wiped it away, and you know we just focus on, you know, what this game means to us this year. So I mean. Yeah, last year was his own year, and this year is his own year. So, you know, just focusing on what this game means to us this year because of the next one. And, you know, yeah.
So how does this game feel different?
I would just say it's just a new team, you know, just mindset-wise, you know, how we're going into this game with, I mean, just even today's practice compared to last year's practice on Tuesday last year. So, I mean, it's just the mindset of the team for sure.
Last year, do you feel like you turned last year's pain into a bit of motivation for this upcoming game against Oklahoma?
I would say, you know, a little bit, but not really. You know, just because they are two different. It's two different ways they were going into the game. You know, it's a different mindset. Just with, like I said, going into this game, it means something different than it did a year ago. So I mean, just focusing on how we can win this game this year with this team.
Who are some players you model your game after in the NFL?
I try to take a lot of things from a lot of different guys. You know, I feel like some Smitty, of course. You know, everybody. I love getting that comparison. Jay Jettis, you know, just with his route running ability, I like to be physical like A.J. Brown when I can. You know, at the point of catch. You know, just trying to take little things from, because there's so many guys in the league that, you know, do it at a high level. Whenever I'm trying to insert block, my mindset is Amon Ra. It might not look like it a couple times, but I try for sure. So, you know, just trying to leave that effort out there on the field.